Hello, everybody, and welcome to our daily check in. Today's check in I'm doing from inside my house, which is kind of rare because usually my kids are quite loud, but they had to step out for a short time. So I actually get a few minutes to myself. So I thought this would be the good time to do our check in. I will admit that I am not feeling 100%. I've been struggling with migraines over the last few days. I don't know if it's because of the weather, kind of not knowing what's going on. Like it's sunny one day, raining the next, hailing, sunny, hailing, good times. So if I seem a little scatterbrained today, I do apologize, but there's definitely some things I wanted to talk about today. The first thing is I was watching Disney Plus the other day, and one of the things that I was watching was the movie Captain Marvel. And I guess it made me think about it today because my daughter is going for a horseback riding lesson. And it always reminded me of that expression, if you fall off a horse, you get back on it. But I don't know what connection I made to Captain Marvel, this movie I was watching. But in the movie, there's a scene where they kind of flash back to when she was younger. Now, if you don't know who Captain Marvel is, she is a female superhero who has all kinds of powers. The movie I thought was pretty good, so you could always check it out on Disney Plus. But there's a scene where I'm not going to give anything away, but there's a scene where they show her in various times of her childhood falling down. And, the question is, will she get back up? Now, obviously, it's a superhero movie, so yeah, she gets back up. But the thing is, I feel like in our current situation, um, I think we're getting to the point where we're a little bit run down and we're feeling like we got knocked down. So the question is, are we going to get back up? And I'm here to tell you that if you feel like you're at home and you can't get back up, you're mentally done, you're having a hard time, you're struggling. I just ask you, please reach out. Reach out to me, reach out to a teacher who you feel like you connect really well with. Tell your parents. I think it's generally the vibe that I'm getting from, not just you guys, but, my friends and colleagues. It's the virtual learning is tough, right? It's getting to the point where we've had enough. So that being said, I just want you to know that if you need to talk or you need to have somebody try to cheer you up, I would be happy to do that. But so for today, I just wanted to talk about some just random stuff. So since my wife is a elementary media specialist, but she also works at a public library, she's been reading a lot of stories. And so I have this basket next to me. It's just full of books. Now, it's just kind of, you can see some of them here. There's books all over. When our kids were little, these bookshelves here were just packed top to bottom with children's books. But I pulled out a couple different books that I thought maybe it could be a fun activity to do to get your mind off of things. So the first one, I know this is not the first book, but it's the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, right? So we know that these books are pretty popular. Whoops. But the inside, you kind of got that like cartoon effect going on. And I'm wondering if you had written a book, even if it's a short story, instead of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, maybe like Diary of a Kid in Quarantine. And you could make like a fun story of some of the silly things that have happened in your house or with your friends or, parents, siblings that you could look back upon and get a good giggle. Now, like for me, I loved reading these books to my kids. These are all like this is called The Class from the Black Lagoon. Look at that teacher looking a little terrified. Like if I did The Class from the Quarantine Virtual Learning or something fun, I'm wondering, what it would seem like because even my own expectations, like when we started this quarantine, virtual learning, I could definitely see a change in you guys, and some of you guys, start off really strong, and then you kind of went downhill a little bit, and that's to be expected. You know, you're on a computer all the time, you can't see your friends. I could understand why that happens. Some people who have been quiet all year long are now talking a lot more, and that always makes me very happy. But it's also nice when I get messages from you guys. You send me like positive messages, or if we did something and you liked it, you tell us, and that I'm super appreciative, because I find that when you can tell people how much you appreciate them, it definitely helps you feel better. But I want you to know that I appreciate all those messages that you guys have been sending. So thank you. But I want you to try to have a creative outlook. Now, I know a student earlier today had told me that he just finished a drawing that he's been working on for a while. So I'm sure that sense of accomplishment of finishing felt fantastic. Now, we're not all artists, obviously, but I think, we can find something that we can work on. I know, maybe puzzles, you're done with those, or those type of, things, but I just thought maybe if you can come up with a story where you could tell about your experiences, because honestly, that story will keep going, right? Because maybe your first volume might be up to this point, but maybe volume two is what's going to happen. Because I think, just like when I was thinking about that movie Captain Marvel, when she got knocked down, getting back up, sometimes it's not just like a physical getting up, it's a mental getting up. It's saying, okay, today I'm going to be happy. Today I'm going to do something positive. Because when I think of, and this happens in our house too. Like the reason why I tell you these things is because I want you to understand that some of the things you are experiencing, my own kids are experiencing, and us too. So this is from Disney Infinity. My sister was nice enough to give us some of these pieces when we got a PlayStation, and my kids really liked Disney Infinity, and they had all these characters, and they were older, they didn't play with them. So this is the Incredible Hulk. Now, when we have back to school night, when we meet with your parents, we always tell them, we don't want you guys to go all Hulk. So I definitely wanted to bring this character out, because I find that being stuck home, people's patience level are really low. Where certain things in the house might happen, and you'd be like, okay, it doesn't bother me too much, like you're blinking or breathing or whatever it is stuff we do. But people now, they just go, they get so mad like right away. And I do think it's because people are they're very tense inside. They're very you guys are probably more stressed than normal, a little bit more anxious than normal, and you get frustrated a lot faster. And I understand that. But my only request is that, make sure you try to take a deep breath. Breathing is really important, because you want to really, it does help, okay? If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, step away from the schoolwork, okay? Step away. I have to step away, because otherwise I'll get frustrated. And here's what I try to do. So in previous videos, I talked about how I liked ancient Egypt. So I have this book here. I love this book. It's like, I've heard people making pop-up cards for their family members, which I was like, man, their Mother's Day. How cool is that? But I like looking at this book. Things of like King Tut, or I have like these little things of the pyramids. And how I help deal with that is I imagine I am elsewhere, right? So I take like, okay, what can I do that brings me joy? I mean, obviously my family brings me joy, but if your family is the one that's frustrating you, or your friends or whatever, you might have to think differently. So I think about, what it would be like to go inside the pyramids, or what it must have been like to live in ancient Egypt. Not that I want to live in ancient Egypt, but it'd be nice to see what it could actually look like, or what the pyramids look like. I try to use my imagination as much as I can, because that's really what keeps us going, right, is our imagination. Now, I also try to get all nostalgic. I look at pictures, and I got this from my father-in-law. If it seems a little dirty, it's because it's like a collectible type thing, so I don't drink from this because it's filthy right now. But this is Bugs Bunny. And I always would tell my kids, and your parents would know this, when we were younger, Saturday morning, cartoons would be on. Now, there was no such thing as DVR, and even cable really wasn't a thing when we were kids. So you had to get up really early, because if you didn't, you missed the cartoon, and you wouldn't get to watch it, and then you'd have to wait. So Also, after school, they would have these really cheesy after school movies, teaching some kind of moral. And since you don't have those cheesy movies, I guess your moral teaching is coming from your gray hair, bald social studies teacher, who's just here to hopefully, make you crack a smile now and then. But the reason why I think if you can think of some past times, some positive things that made you feel good, look around your room, see if you can find something that brought you a happy memory and focus on that. If you have to step away sometimes to kind of, do that because I think it will help you. Getting outside is good, playing outside is good. Here's what I would tell you. Being a kid is awesome. I know sometimes when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I can't wait till I'm adult. Don't rush it because once you're an adult and you have to start working and you have all these other responsibilities, like you're going to have those for a long decades and decades. But being a kid is amazing. Having the imagination to think of fun games to play, going outside playing tag or hide and seek, or having a catch with somebody, or playing lacrosse, or kicking a soccer ball, or shooting a basketball. All of those things are awesome. Enjoy them. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when my daughter, who was 9, when she had her first lesson riding a horse, which was only a few days ago, she couldn't stop talking about it. She was just so excited and smiling and smiling. And sometimes as you grow up, you kind of lose that feeling, right? So when you're a kid and you feel that excited, just be grateful. It's awesome. But I would say write your thoughts down, draw some pictures, do something to commemorate it. I know for Mother's Day, I put together a slideshow of pictures of my kids and, the family, whatever, for my wife. And I have to tell you, just making it got me in a better mood because I was looking at pictures of things we'd done. Now, I could have said, oh, look at all this fun time we had. That makes me so sad because we can't do that. But I didn't look at it from that way. I looked at it as this makes me feel good because I'm going to make somebody else happy. And some of her friends were nice enough. They sent videos saying Happy Mother's Day. So that's also something you can do. Make a little video log for your parents. Maybe I heard another one of my students put together a slideshow for their mom. And I think there's just something nice about doing something creative for someone else because that seeing their reaction and excitement and happiness from it will make you feel better. Okay, so I think as a group, here's what I'm asking from you. Just like you guys, I'm definitely getting to a point where it's a little more difficult, and but your positive messages to me that you have sent me have really helped keep me motivated. And I think if we work together and we try to help each other, come up with some fun ideas of things we can do, that'd be awesome. But I do have a request. So Spirit Week was really fun. I enjoyed that. So what I'm asking from you guys is what do you think we can do as a team to build community as our team and maybe make people feel a little bit better, okay? Because I really want you guys to feel good. I see some of you guys when I see you in the video, you're looking kind of down in the dumps. And I don't like that because, like I said, when you guys are feeling sad and depressed or anxious or whatever, like I feel that way because I want you guys to feel good and happy. So if you can come up with some ideas and send them to me, I would be appreciative. And if your parents want to share some ideas, I mean, it's not to say that anything that we come up with is going to happen. I don't know. But it would be nice to try to come up with something because I think that we're getting to the time of year where it's going to be getting, it's in between like warm weather and the winter, right? So until we can get outside more on a regular basis, let's try to do something to help each other for these next couple of weeks because once it starts getting warm, it's going to be great. But just so you know, I saw in the weather last night, Friday is going to be 80 degrees. 80. So let's get outside. Hopefully, maybe we'll all sweat a little because it'll be so warm and try to have the best day possible. But until then, I'm thinking about you guys always. And I'm looking forward to Friday because I like getting to see you guys. So let's just have a great week, everybody, okay? Until our next check-in, peace out. Don't forget to tell your parents you love them. Tell your family you love them. Give them hugs. send messages to people, and let's be a strong community, okay? Have a great day, everybody.